All right, Jay Croucher, Matthew Berry here, Fantasy Football Happy Hour, and joining us now on behalf of global healthcare leader Abbott, Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin, and three-time Super Bowl champion with the New England Patriots, of course, Tedy, Bruschi.
Hey, what's going on?
My former teammate.
Yep.
That's right. That's right.
At ESPN.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. And so I have a question for you, Tedy.
Yeah.
And Damar. I just want to show you this picture. That's a picture of me, Tedy, and a puppet. And a puppet. I made Tedy do segments and football analysis with a puppet. Is that the worst segment, Tedy? You've had a storied broadcasting career.
Me? That's one of the most creative segments we ever had. Those puppeteers were so good.
I feel like I remember watching this segment.
Hey, we appreciate
you. You got to start somewhere. And I remember doing those hits with you, Matthew. It's great to see you again, buddy.
It is great.
You're doing good, man. You're doing good.
I'm getting there, Tedy. Great week for you. Thank you so much. I have to say this before we get into the real interview, but I'll just say this. Because when I was doing fantasy football at ESPN, and now it's huge and massive, but back in the day, not everyone loved it. And when we were able to get three-time Super Bowl champion Tedy Bruschi, we'd ask all the people at ESPN, hey, will you come on our show?
Sure.
And some of them were like, I'm busy, I don't know. But Tedy was also like, you bet, man, I'll come, I'll do it, you bet it. And so getting somebody like Tedy inside the building to say yeah, man, I'll do this show, it's a good show, we'll have fun, I have a great experience, meant a lot to me in my career. So I appreciate you, Tedy.
It, buddy. Matthew, it was always good to be on with you, man. Yeah. It's good to be on with you again.
I appreciate it. Thanks for coming by.
Love that.
And we're thrilled to have you here. We're big fans, obviously, of both of you. But Damar, let's talk with you. News with the Bills. Tell me something about Joe Brady that people don't know yet, your new head coach.
Winner's mentality, and a team first guy. And I love to see him at the helm because he'll be a true leader for us, and he will be a player's coach. You know what I mean? He'll be a player's coach, which means he's a guy that players can easily get behind his message. And when you have that, that's the first initial alignment that you need for a Super Bowl team. And I'm just excited to continue to see his growth. History fact, so 10 years ago from today, I was a top recruit at Penn State. Penn State was in my top 3 schools. Yeah. Joe Brady was a GA at Penn State my senior year of high school.
Really?
So Joe Brady used to drive us around on the golf cart at Penn State. So just to see his 10-year growth, to see him, go with the Saints, the Panthers, LSU, the Bills, it's just been a tremendous journey, and it's just a testament to who he is as a person to go from a GA at Penn State to the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, and I'm just glad to be a part of the journey.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Another head coach is in the spotlight, Mike Vrabel, who you know well, Tedy, naturally.
Where are you from?
I'm from Australia.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
That's why I talk funny.
Me off guard there a little bit.
Yeah.
You know me, whether it's puppets, Australians, all comers. I think all comers.
Australia via Connecticut. I've been here for 7 years now. The accent doesn't change though. I think it's built in. Mike Vrabel, we see his big personality. We see a lot of different sides to Mike Vrabel. I'm just wondering, in the room before they go out on Sunday, is he going to have them bouncing off of the walls? Is it going to be kind of calmer, a message? What's his personality like? How's he going to reflect on the team?
Yeah, I was in there this week, and I was talking to him, and I asked him, man, Vrabes, have you thought about what you'll tell him the Saturday night before the game? So this was on Thursday, I think it was, and because that's the thing. We all remember as players when you're the night before the Super Bowl, that coach, he's coming with something big. Yeah. You know what I mean? I've had a defensive coordinator break out a ring for an AFC championship team that lost the Super Bowl. He says, this is what you get if you lose. And then break out the ring, this is what you get if you win. And the players just went, oh my gosh, the difference in the rings, you know? And then Bill, of course, once talked about the parade route of the Philadelphia Eagles that they had already planned before the game. So that type of thing. So I'm like, Vrabes, what are you going to say? And he's like, damn, I haven't even thought about it. And I was sort of shocked because he's always had that plan as a coach in terms of what sort of mood or what type of theme he wanted this team believing in going into the week. So I know he's got that all covered. I mean, throughout the course of the year, the whole Road Warriors thing, that was really big for him. And then he ran out of the wrestlers, the Road Warriors, that sort of clips to use, and so we used the movie Warriors come out and play, but that took off. And so he didn't even know that would take off like that. So he throws things off the wall sometimes, and other things they're greatly planned, but I know he'll have them motivated, ready to go.
Tedy, you mentioned Coach Belichick there. I got to ask, him not getting, the reports are that he has not somehow been a first ballot Hall of Famer, that he's not making the Hall of Fame.
Right.
What was your reaction when you saw that news?
So I was shocked. Listen, I mean, I had a voter actually that I know that texted me, and I was about to send a text back, and I showed it to my wife, and she said, "Don't send that," because I was pissed.
I'm sure,
I was
of course.
pissed, right? And so I said, "Okay, honey, I won't," and I didn't send it, and I ended up talking to him a little bit, but still, I mean, even I think voters themselves are a little bit confused about how if he doesn't get in, I don't know how it happened, because a majority of them thought it. But when you're relying on 50 opinions, I mean, it's not like winning Super Bowls. I mean, you out there and win a football game, a playoff game, or a Super Bowl. It's about you and it's about them. Who's better? And the better team's going to win in the end. This is the opinion of 50 different people, and I disagree with what they thought, of course, because definitely I thought Bill should have been in this year.
I think there's no question about it. I mean, he was trending all because everyone was just like, it's such a no-brainer, and it was such a head-scratching decision. But I want to ask you quickly. You once told me, Tedy, when we worked, you told me this off camera, so I'm hoping you'll tell it now. You once told me a story about Belichick. Your second week on the team as a rookie. Play clock? Do you know the story I'm talking about?
Play clock. Come on. You got to give me some more clues here.
You were a rookie. It's your second week. It's your second week, and this is the story I always tell about the genius of Belichick. This is a story you told me.
Okay.
So I'll tell Tedy's story to himself.
And then
but basically, it was your second week of practice, and you get on the field, and you're like, "Where's the play clock?" Do you remember that? No, I'm like, you're still like, no.
Come on.
So Tedy goes, "Where's the play clock?" And they said, "Oh, the play clock, it's up there in the corner because the stadium we're playing at this week, that's where the play clock is." So Bill moved the play clock so that you guys could practice looking at the play clock,
where it'll be,
right? And so that
preparation.
And what you told me, Tedy, is you said, "Listen, over the course of my career, there were plays I missed, there are plays I didn't make, but there was never a play that I wasn't prepared for.
Yeah.
There was never something that I did that I saw that I'd never seen before."
Yeah. I remember that story. I just sort of wanted you to tell it.
Okay. But that's when I tell that story.
That was one of many examples, right? Moving a play clock a certain place. That was actually done a lot. But that was the first time I realized, like, what the heck are we doing that for?
He doesn't miss a detail.
Yeah. So him explaining that to us, to why we did that, was really big for me at that point in terms of the detail that has to go involved in professional sports, because I was so young at that point.
Yeah. That is a story I tell all the time about the genius of Belichick. I'm like, Tedy Bruschi told me this, like, just like the dumbest detail you never think about, but Bill always thought about it.
Yeah. And I almost like the story of when, I mean, we're backed up. It's like on the 3-yard line, and offensively, he's telling them on the hard count, just trying to get the defense offsides, because hey, if you guys move and it gets you to a false start, it doesn't really matter, because how far is the penalty? A yard and a half. It doesn't really matter. So those type of things always gone over.
Yep. Pivoting a bit, Damar, I want to ask you about, remember the first game when you came back after what happened in Cincinnati, that game, I think it was against the Dolphins, your first game back for the Bills, 2.5 years on now. Like, what do you remember of that first time you got back on the field?
If I can be honest up here, that was my first game back, but, I didn't really have a heavy role that game.
Yeah.
So as a starter, you kind of have not a different preparation, but you kind of have a different, how do I describe it? You have different, like, anxiety and emotions as a starter. So I would take it further to say that 2024, when I earned my starting job back, that first game was a way different experience than Miami. But Miami, my first time being in pads back, it was emotional for me, but I think that's all it was just emotions. My role wasn't really that big on the field. And if I'm being honest, I didn't want it to be. I still was kind of trying to find myself and feeling myself out. And, sitting on that sideline, that's where all the nerves were. That's where all the nerves were. And that's the only thing I had to sit in was nerves. So I was hoping my role wasn't big. But, once I was able to actually get out there on that field, that's when all those nerves and anxiety just left my body, and it was just no fear, it's time to go. So that was my favorite part of the comeback, when I was able to play that 2024 season show the world that, I am a football player. You just weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
And it was truly an honor to do that right there.
Okay, we have a bit of an ongoing bit on our show about how we think you absolutely should have won Comeback Player of the Year.
Hold my hands, hold my hands. Got this, man. Come on, come on. Michael Nick. Oh my God! Oh my God! I can't with the flat card.
I want you to do me a favor right now. Text me right now how much money you lost last night when Damar Hamlin was somehow crazily not named NFL Comeback Player of the Year. The man who beat death. Oh, good God. Oh, good God. Like, I thought it was a lot, but I didn't know that either. Yeah.
I think one of the great comeback stories, the inspiration to so many. They should name the award after you. It was a phenomenal
Maybe we should push for that.
Let's push for it.
No,
we can make it happen.
We talk about it all the time. Whenever an award that comes up that somebody won that we didn't think win, we're always like, well, how did Damar Hamlin not win Comeback Player of the Year? So
what's crazy? Every year that I was up for Comeback Player of the Year, people were like, stay ready, I'm getting an award, and I'm thinking like, okay, come back. I'm preparing my speech, and I wanted to be so vulnerable in my speech. That's why I was like, nervous in my seat, because I wanted to get up there on that stage, and I wanted to be vulnerable, and I wanted to let the world into a phase of life that, like, I'm not the kind of person to even share. So but I feel like my comeback was bigger than a trophy. It was bigger than an award. It was a spiritual thing, not a worldly thing. But I should have won Comeback Player.
There is no doubt. There is no argument here at this table. We are a pro Damar Hamlin table, just so you know, and show. Real quickly, I'm being told in my ear that we got to let you guys go. But before I let you go, two last questions for you. What is the Heartmates program, Tedy, and how did you guys get involved?
Yeah, Heartmates program. Damar and I are both ambassadors for Abbott, the Heartmates program tour. We are both survivors. I'm a stroke survivor. Damar's a heart survivor. And there's a lot of people out there that don't have community, don't have team. We're not selling anything right now. We are selling a program to where you can join us and talk about your experience. You can talk about your story. And that's what Heartmates is. We get together virtually through huddles and also in person. When we leave here today, we are going to go have a Heartmate huddle and talk to about 30 survivors where you just share your story. Because sometimes that's a big part of your comeback. It's like, I need to share what I'm going through and see if anyone else can understand me, and then give me the answers that I need to the many questions that I have. Yes. That's what Heartmates is all about. And with February being National Heart Month, that's what it's all about for us.
Yeah, not just raising awareness about heart-related issues and the people who experience them. We're building that community and that support group for these people who are experiencing these moments, and giving them that extra inspiration to go forward on their comeback journey. And as I reflect back and think of the toughest moments of my recovery, early on, my family was what kept me going. And then once I got back to my team, my teammates were what kept me going. So ultimately, it's that support group. So what we're able to do with Abbott and the Heartmates community is provide that support group to people that have these kind of experiences from all different ages. I've met 9-year-old girls to, elderly, and it all affects the same.
Well, listen, it's awesome that you guys are using your platform to bring awareness to this issue, and not just this week. Tedy, I follow you on Instagram for years and years and years. I know this is something that is near and dear to both of your hearts. No pun intended there as well. So thank you so much for taking the time and being with us real quickly. So listen, 3-time Super Bowl champion Tedy Bruschi, and should have been Comeback Player of the Year, Damar Hamlin. Thank you so much for joining us here on Happy Hour. Have an awesome week.
I got to put that in my bio. Should have been.
Absolutely.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and Rotoworld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own, Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.